Well, the main greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide, and it's from things like generating electricity from coal and gas, from cars and aeroplanes and transport generally. It's also caused by chopping forests down, for example. So there are many causes of this pollution. We can't say that any individual event is caused by climate change, but what we can say is that it's more likely because of climate change. So it's a bit like the links between smoking and lung cancer. If you smoke, you're more likely to get lung cancer. If we continue to pollute the atmosphere with greenhouse gases, then we're more likely to get these rises in temperature and the sorts of extremes that we've seen. In the UK, we've already seen temperatures rising. We had heat waves in 2003 and 2006, which broke all records, and these sorts of heat waves are already twice as likely as they would have been before the Industrial Revolution, so we're already having an impact on climate. Climate change in some ways is more dangerous than we thought before, so there are many changes that we hadn't anticipated that we're starting to see signs of and that we'll see more of in the future. Just think about the summer of 2003. I said that's already twice as likely as it was before the Industrial Revolution. By 2040, so that's only in 30 years' time, it will be the sort of summer you'd see every other year. And by the 2060s, it will be an unusually cool summer. So we expect rainfall to increase in winter and to decrease in summer. But you might think this is a bit surprising because we just had 2 really wet summers. So how does that fit with climate change? Well, last year in particular, there were slow-moving fronts moving across the UK. Normally, we expect those sorts of weather conditions to happen in the autumn, so most of the weather goes north of Britain, but last summer it came straight across the UK. And combined with that, the sea was unusually warm, and so lots of water evaporated from the sea surface, went into the clouds and fell as rain over the UK, and that's why we got all that flooding. So in the future, we would expect on average it to be drier and to get unusually dry summers more often, but when it does rain, we would expect it to rain more heavily. Being a Western country, we produce a lot more pollution than the developing countries, and so we need to think much more about how we can reduce our emissions, and we have much more opportunity to do so. And indeed, it's the developed countries that have signed up to the Kyoto Protocol to reduce their emissions, and what we're hoping that people will do this coming summit and next year is to negotiate a new agreement to take that forward and to reduce emissions even further.